Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Hope you're having a great morning so far. I have with me this morning the Academic Director at the Advanced Learning Educational Support Center, Dr. Winsy Adams. She joins us on set to chat a little bit about Advanced Vision TT 2023. Good morning, Dr. Adams.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, so firstly, let's get into what is the Advanced Learning Educational Support Center all about and how long have you guys been operating?
Well, this NGO was established in 2016. At first, we started as a community project in the community of Maraval, where we would have engaged the community in terms of educational support programs for students who were not performing well in the traditional school setting.
So it's like lessons?
Correct.
Okay.
That's how it started.
All right.
But over the years, we have expanded. And so one of our major projects right now is the Advanced Learning International Homeschool, where we work with children, diverse children, some special needs, some neurotypical children, in an environment that they coexist, different ages coexist as a family.
Right.
So we create a very caring, loving environment where students can learn comfortably.
And this is like a full-time learning institution?
This is a full-time learning institution in Petite Valley.
What was the inspiration for bringing it together? I mean, you said the community is what started it, but what inspired you to say, well, this is something that we need?
As an educator, I recognize that schooling can be very traumatic for some of our children, whether or not they experience bullying from their peers or even from teachers at times. And so I thought that it would be important to create a space that children could de-stress after school.
Right.
And so that's how it started.
Right.
But then it evolved into a whole day project and eventually established as an institution itself.
No, that's very interesting to me because you are also currently the acting principal at Bishop Anstey High School.
Yes.
How are you balancing those two? I mean, that's basically two schools you run in.
Correct.
How's that working out?
Well, I've balanced it for years.
Okay.
7 years the NGO has been running. But when you have, when you're really passionate about a vision, you make it happen. And so, I work with a very efficient team of principal and teachers, which I assist in terms of the training and so. And they pretty much run the institution and they're doing a great job at it.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. Now, tell me about the seminar that we have coming up. What was the inspiration for this seminar in particular? Because it seems to be more focused on the mindset of the students.
Correct. The group of focus is really the Form 1s, while I'm engaging all secondary school students.
Right.
The point is we want to assist these Form 1 students who have just received their results to make that transition from primary school into secondary school. It's a very different environment. And while they moving along the adolescent stage, they have different issues that they're going to be engaging, personal issues. And so we want to give them that opportunity to make that transition, to get that assistance, to get a little view as to what they're going to experience when they get into secondary school. That's just one of the objectives.
What do you see so far, I mean, in your experience as a teacher, principal, academic director, everything? What do you see as some of the biggest challenges that they face in that transition going from primary school to secondary school?
Well, first of all, students can be in utter shock to know that they're moving from a very pastoral environment where there's one major teacher of their class, and then they're moving into more impersonal relationships between teachers as they meet teachers for every subject.
Right.
So that in itself is a shocker, a new environment where they are now the babies. They're moving from an environment where they were the head honchos in their environment, and now they are the babies.
Right.
And so they have to deal with that dynamic of moving into a new environment, meeting new persons. They don't always have the opportunity to move with peers that they're accustomed to over the last few years. They're moving into a completely different environment. And as they, as they progress in terms of their adolescence, forming relationships, understanding that they're now moving to a new threshold in terms of the CXC. They have just passed the SE, and to understand that the work has just begun.
Yeah, and this is under regular circumstances. Let's not talk about the last 3 years where we've had the pandemic apply its own version of these things. How is the pandemic? Is it still affecting the students, do you think?
Of course it is, of course. because we are dealing with a new breed of students who would have had 2 years at home.
Yeah.
And so some of the foundational areas and foundational time to form foundations would have been missed. And so as students return to school, you would have noticed that they are trying to catch up.
Yeah.
And I think, from my estimation, they're still in that catch-up mode.
Okay.
And they feel that they've lost a lot. So you're dealing with all of those kind of emotions coming into play now. And as they move forward, we hope to stabilize them.
But so is that also part of the conversation at the seminar?
Correct, correct. So even for older secondary school students, we want to assist them to make the transition from secondary to post-secondary, whether that means the world of work, university, whatever. Yeah. Correct. Giving them the opportunity to engage with other companies, with companies that can offer them positions eventually.
Okay.
They could become potential employers of these students, and allowing them to form a vision, a personal vision for themselves.
Okay, so I'm hearing two things here so far. I'm hearing the 4 months being catered to in terms of that transition from primary to secondary. And I'm hearing now the Form 5s, Form 6s from their transition from secondary to either the world of work or tertiary.
Correct.
So we're targeting those two specific.
Correct.
And it's all happening on one day.
That's right.
All right. Tell me some details about the seminar. Where is it happening? When is it happening? And how can people participate?
All right. So this takes place at Bishop Anstey High School Hall, Port of Spain. I have to be specific because we have different schools. On the 15th, Saturday, the 15th of July. That's next 2 weeks.
Next
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Correct.
All right. This weekend is
we have the 8th and then the 15th.
Right, yeah, so next weekend. Not this weekend,
yes.
Next one, right.
Correct, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., but we have our feature addresses taking place between the hours of 1 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Okay, and the feature addresses are for anybody making the transition?
Correct. It's going to be tailored to meet the different groups.
Right. So is it breakout groups and everybody tailored to focus on?
That is going to be part of it as well. So the addresses will be specific to particular groups of attendees.
How much does it cost to be a part of?
Just a minor fee of $100, because at this time we are not funded. As yet, we're not fully funded. But hopefully, if we do get funded, we can offer this opportunity to students free of charge. And that's the goal. So hopefully that can happen.
If people do want to get involved to invest in this initiative, how can they do so? They
can do so by calling the office number, which is 755-2493, 755-2493, or they can shoot us an email at advancedlearningtt@gmail.com.
advancedlearningtt@gmail.com. And it's happening next week, Saturday, the 15th of July, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Bishop Anstey High School in Port of Spain at the hall. And where can we go to register? Advanced Learning TT?
Everything is done online. Once they contact us, we will guide through that process. And principals can also assist with the registration procedure.
Dr. Adams, I want to say thank you very much firstly for this initiative, because I do think that our students can do with as much support when it comes to their mental health as possible. And of course, those transitions are necessary to your mental health, because you got to figure out how to navigate it, or else it could be quite troublesome. So thank you for seeing the space and filling that void.
Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem at all. We take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, and we come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. Don't forget, it's happening on the 15th of July. Advanced Learning Educational Support Center will be presenting Advanced Vision TT 2023. It's all about guidance and self-discovery. It's a seminar happening at Bishop Anstey High School in Port of Spain. Stay tuned. We have a lot more in the show coming up for you.